Think you know everything about learning? Think again. We're taking you into the world of covert learning techniques, trusted by top intelligence operatives. It's time to hack your brain and unlock extraordinary learning potential. Welcome, knowledge seekers, to Mind Hack, the podcast where we explore unconventional and powerful ways to enhance your learning and unlock your cognitive potential. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of espionage and intelligence, drawing inspiration from the very techniques employed by the CIA to rapidly acquire and retain critical information. Forget rote memorization and endless repetition. We're talking about methods that tap into the hidden capabilities of your mind. Have you ever wished you could absorb information faster, remember details more vividly, and truly master new skills with greater ease? Well, the world of intelligence offers some surprisingly effective strategies. These aren't just for spies and secret agents, they're powerful tools that anyone can use to become a more efficient and effective learner. So let's pull back the curtain on some of these intriguing techniques, reimagined for your learning journey. 1. Sleep learning, the theta wave advantage. Imagine learning while you sleep. Sounds like science fiction, right? But the CIA has explored the potential of leveraging different brainwave states for information absorption. One key area is the theta wave state, which is often associated with deep relaxation, hypnosis, and a heightened state of suggestibility. While you can't actively study complex concepts in your deepest sleep, the idea here is to create an environment conducive to subconscious absorption or reinforcement of information. This involves playing specifically designed audio tracks, often incorporating binaural beats or isochronic tones tuned to the theta frequency range as you fall asleep or during light sleep phases. Think of it as subtly bathing your brain in the frequencies associated with learning and memory consolidation. While the scientific evidence is still evolving and it's not a replacement for active study, some research suggests that exposure to certain frequencies during sleep can enhance memory recall for information learned while awake. Consider playing relevant audio lectures, vocabulary lists, or even affirmations related to your learning material at a low volume as you drift off to sleep. The key is to ensure it's not disruptive to your sleep quality, but rather creates a subtle background presence. You can find numerous theta wave music tracks specifically designed for relaxation and focus. Experiment and see if this subtle approach helps reinforce your learning. Neuropriming, training your brain amidst chaos. The life of an intelligence operative is often characterized by unpredictable and high-pressure environments. The ability to focus and learn amidst chaos is paramount. This concept of neuropriming involves intentionally exposing your brain to controlled distractions while you study. The idea is to desensitize your mind to external noise and train it to maintain focus even when things aren't perfectly quiet. This could involve studying with ambient background noise, like a coffee shop ambience track, or even introducing intermittent, unexpected sounds, like a sudden but not startling alarm, or a brief snippet of conversation. Instead of seeking absolute silence, try studying with a low-level, consistent background noise. There are many apps and online resources that provide ambient sounds like rain, nature, or cafe chatter. You can even introduce short bursts of slightly more disruptive sounds at random intervals. The goal isn't to make it impossible to study, but to subtly challenge your brain's ability to filter distractions and maintain focus. This can be particularly useful if you often find yourself needing to concentrate in noisy environments. The 5 senses memory hook. Our senses are powerful triggers for memory. Think about how a particular smell can instantly transport you back to a specific time and place. The CIA leverages this by encouraging the association of specific sensory cues with learning sessions. This involves consciously linking a particular smell, sound, or music, color, taste, or texture with your study material when you encounter that same sensory cue later. It can act as a powerful trigger to recall the information you learned in that associated session. Podcast adaptation. Experiment with different sensory anchors for your study sessions. For example, you could burn a specific scented candle only when you're studying a particular subject. Or you could listen to a specific instrumental playlist during your study time. You could even use a particular colored pen to take notes for a specific topic. The more unique and distinct the sensory cue, the stronger the potential memory link. When you want to recall that information, try to mentally revisit the associated smell, sound, or color. The memory palace, your internal vault of knowledge. This ancient mnemonic technique, also known as the method of loci, is a powerful tool for memorizing lists, sequences, and even complex information. It involves creating a vivid mental image of a familiar location, like your house or a frequently visited route, and then mentally placing the items you want to remember at specific points along that mental journey. The CIA has undoubtedly utilized and refined this technique for operatives needing to recall crucial details under pressure. By associating abstract information with concrete locations in your mental palace, you create a spatial framework that makes recall much more intuitive and reliable. Podcast adaptation. Choose a familiar space like your home. Mentally walk through it, identifying distinct locations in a specific order, for example, front door, hallway, living room, kitchen, and so on. Then, as you encounter information you want to memorize, create a vivid and bizarre mental image of that information interacting with each location in your palace. The more unusual and memorable the image, the better. When you need to recall the information, simply take a mental stroll through your palace, and the images you placed will trigger your memory. 5. Mental downloads, the power of space repetition and topic switching. Intelligence training often involves intense bursts of learning, followed by periods of processing and integration. The concept of mental downloads draws inspiration from this, advocating for shorter, focused study sessions interspersed with breaks and switching between different subjects. This aligns with the principles of spaced repetition, where you revisit information at increasing intervals to strengthen memory retention, and interleaving, where you mix different subjects during your study sessions rather than deep diving into one topic for extended periods. This approach can combat mental fatigue and improve long-term recall. Instead of trying to cram for hours on end, break your study time into shorter, focused blocks, perhaps around 10 to 15 minutes each. After each block, take a short break to move around or do something completely different. Then, instead of continuing with the same subject, switch to a different one for your next block. This mental download approach, with its built-in breaks and topic variation, can help prevent burnout and enhance the efficiency of your learning by engaging different parts of your brain. The SPI's weekly learning blueprint, structuring your cognitive missions. Just like intelligence agencies plan their operations meticulously, creating a structured weekly learning plan can significantly enhance your progress. This involves consciously scheduling your study sessions, allocating specific times for different subjects, and integrating the techniques we've discussed. A SPI's weekly learning blueprint would involve not just what you're going to learn, but also how you're going to learn it. This means incorporating elements like sleep learning audio, neuropriming during certain sessions, actively using your 5 senses to anchor memories, practicing your memory palace, and implementing the mental download approach with spaced repetition. Take some time at the beginning of each week to plan your learning schedule. Allocate specific time slots for different subjects and decide which learning techniques you'll employ during those sessions. For example, you might decide to review vocabulary using your memory palace on Monday evenings, listen to a relevant podcast on your commute, neuropriming with background noise, and use a specific scent while studying a particular chapter on Wednesday. Tracking your progress and adjusting your plan as needed will help you stay organized and maximize the effectiveness of these CIA-inspired learning strategies. Thank you for tuning into Mind Hack. If you're intrigued by these unconventional learning strategies, be sure to subscribe for more mind-expanding insights. Until our next cognitive mission, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep hacking your mind.